I want to hear poetry. I want to hear poetry that gets hair curled, poetry for this gathering they call small world, poetry that will lift and inspire. 50 people gathered here around our campfire. I want to hear poetry, like a poetry slam. Respect to the poet that was Alex I Am. Poetry that gets you caught in a trap. What a great name for a poet, the man's called Yap. I want to hear poetry laced with irony. Respect to the old times, Formula One, that's the one called Byrony. I want to hear poetry far and near. This man got up 20 minutes ago, was talking about Shakespeare. I want to hear poetry that'll kiss and then tell. All the way from Brighton, that's Rachel. I want to hear poetry. No questions, the what, where and if. Second name Richard, first name Spliff. I want to hear poetry that cuts to the deepest cut. Poetry for the lady called Stephanie Dogfoot. I want to hear poetry that's old and brand new. Poetry for fresh love, Tanya May you. I want to hear fuck, this was a moment like 2 poems ago. Give her a big round of applause for this lady. I want to hear poetry. I want to hear poetry that shows an intolerance to formulae, that rewrites the rule books with blank pages of creativity, that jumps out the box and runs more than a mile in the opposite direction. I want to hear poetry that's a reflection of the mirrored minds of its creator. Poetry that will relate you to the words fluttering ear-bound, ground up in the esophagus, digested through the diaphragm. I want to hear poetry that will slam doors shut and open galleries of new ones. Poetry before breakfast, poetry with no shoes on. I want to hear poetry. That means I want to see you as a poet using your writing skills and vocal ability. None of this mumbling whilst jumbling off scraps of notepaper that you wrote earlier today. Because by the way, that setup line makes you want to shake. Go home, rewrite, edit, revisit, and when it's ready for all, bring an exhibit for us to hear and see. I didn't pay £10 to listen to poetic therapy. I'm not a lab rat for your latest piece. Give me some release and leave that shit for the pub's open mic. Just do it, only applies tonight. I want to hear poetry. This poem is about the first time a teacher ever said well done to me.